What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, the Lions, Rams, injuries. I like injury. I shouldn't say I like injuries. I like looking at who's in and who's out. I think it just matters, and it's interesting now that we're later into the week, get an opportunity to kind of get the final picture of who's in and who's out. So for the Lions, Iffy Melifonwu looks like he's going to be out. We'll get to DJ Reader here in just a second, but if he's out, and it's just, man, he's just really battled injuries so far in his career. And when he's in, though, man, I really like him, and I think he's a great piece for the Lions. He can be a starter. He can be a depth piece. He's a big physical safety that I really like. He can play corner as well, but looks like he's out, but that's okay, right? That's why we've got Branch. We've got other safeties that can step in, and we have depth in the secondary finally for the first time in forever. So I love that. If you look here, we'll scroll down here real quick and look at DJ Reader. Now, DJ Reader is still on track to make his Lions debut as he was ruled questionable in the first injury report. So Dan Campbell just continues to say he looks good, but just want to be super careful with him. And I fully am on track with that because remember, he had 2 quadriceps injuries. He's older, big dude, and we want him. I know it's exciting and we want him right now, and I want him out there as much as anybody, but it's like, dude, we need you in December, right? So we want to just make sure that he's healthy and good and fully strengthened, just because Dan Campbell was talking about basically you're good in practice, whatever, but you just it's just another level in games, and you'll do something that you just can't help, and you'll pull something, you'll strain something, you just go to a different intensity. You can try to replicate in practice, but you just can't, especially early on. So I want to make sure that he's strong and ready to go. So right now it looks like DJ Reader probably will play, but not very much is what I would say. So that's cool. A big reason Lions feel confident while opening the season in primetime as home is the support of their fan base. And Detroit's crowd approached record levels last year, and the Lions are hoping for more this year. And so Dan Campbell said, well, I think it correlates certainly to wins. Success wins. You feel like you're taking the right steps. If your fans are into it, I think they know that you're competing, you're competitive, you're getting better, a little bit better every week. Basically, Dan Campbell's like, hey, we got to do our part. He gets it. Like, no one's going to cheer for a team that doesn't win. So we got to win. And I've really liked it too because the Rams have been asked about it a ton this week. So Sean McVay's been asked. Matt Stafford's been asked. The offense and defensive coordinators, like for the Rams, like what's it like? What was it like? What are you going to do this year? So it's a great thing to just kind of be in their heads about what's coming, and what they can expect, I guess, noise-wise. So I absolutely love that. All right, another thing I wanted to point out, I guess we can look at this here. This really helps. But the Rams and what they're missing as well. So Jonah Jackson participated full. He's good to go. Puka Nacua is good to go. Havenstein, the offensive lineman, is out. They've got a corner that was full as well. So their injury report is not as bad as I think early on. It was like, oh man, who's going to go here? And Jonah Jackson. They've got a couple of guys on IR that aren't listed here, and that's more the question. So we've got a corner on IR, starting corner, and an offensive lineman. So, and then another offensive lineman suspended. So their injury report doesn't look as bad, but doesn't show the full story. So keep that in mind that they are missing guys. When the Lions have Iffy Melifonwu, DJ Reader is going to maybe play a little bit, and then Lauren Strickland is, in fact, fully out. So all good there. Now, another thing that I think I was wondering about, I don't know if you've been as well, but Tim Patrick, the new wide receiver the Lions got, he's not going to play, right? He's on the practice squad. Everybody knows that. It's fine. I guess I was kind of wondering if, like, is he going to play or like what's up with that? Well, it came out today that the Saints and Broncos were trying to get a trade done. It never got done. So it shows that other teams were looking at Patrick. Ultimately gets released. Lions are able to pick him up, no problem, which is huge. So he's on the practice squad. And if you remember, he's been injured the last 2 seasons. So really trying to take some time and work him back. But man, this is a great player that the Lions got for what looks like a steal, because he's big. He was a great player before he got injured. So keep an eye on Tim Patrick as a guy that we'll definitely want to see. So now as we turn our attention to this game and what we expect, it's been dissected all year. We've known we're going to play the Rams, excited about it. But here's just 3 keys for me if you're watching this game that you're just going to be like, oh, man. I mean, first thing, are the Lions going to be able to run the football as effectively as we think they can? And I say that because it's like, man, no Aaron Donald and a really good offensive line in the Lions. Lions have a great offensive line with 2 really good backs. So they have to run the ball. If and when the Lions run the ball, it's just a whole nother thing. You got Jared Goff at home in the dome. It's easy money when they're running the ball. They play action, the whole thing. So keep an eye on that. Second thing is, man, Matt Stafford he's just a gamer, and partner him with Sean McVay. No one wants to admit it, but it's like those guys are the real deal, man. And they're gonna scheme stuff up. So I think if you're a Lions fan, you just cannot give up explosive plays. Like that's huge. Let Stafford do his thing. But man, you saw it last year. Puka Nacua, big catch. Atwell or whatever his name was caught a big long touchdown. They had explosive plays on the Lions, and that's when they got into the end zone. They couldn't get into the end zone when they had to kind of go down the field. Lions stopped them 3 times in the red zone. Their 2 touchdowns were long touchdowns. So explosive plays is another one. And then finally, our kicking game. We've got one of the best punters in the league, so I'm not worried about that. We've got a great unit there. What about field goal kicks, right? That's going to be just fun to watch, because I think it's pretty clear that there's a raw talent to our field goal kicker, Jake Bates, that not a lot of people have really ever seen. So that's super exciting. Problem is he just hasn't kicked an NFL game, and he's inconsistent, and you just don't really know what he's going to do. So keep that in mind as the Lions go out there to kick field goals. So I think Dan Campbell's like, let's kick some field goals. I mean, I think he's definitely going to do that this year. Play the long game, especially against quality opponents. You just get those 3 points are just huge. You just don't want to leave a drive with nothing. So keep that in mind. I think the Lions win this one. Can't wait to see the atmosphere again this Sunday. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you've been watching us for a while, make sure you subscribe. It means a lot. And we'll see all of you on the next one.